Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Football Center. I need it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Football Center. I need it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Hello and welcome to another Talk Sports edition, your home for football news, transfer updates, and match previews from across Europe and Africa. I'm your host, Ademi Shego, and today we've got a packed show from Barcelona Youth Revolution and contract talks to Germany's World Cup worries, and even some more drama, some bees dramas in Tanzania. Plus, we'll touch on African qualifiers, the AFCON 2025 update, and not just that, the World Cup qualifiers on African soil, and the start of the Nigeria Premier Football League season. Joining me, as always, our pundits on both Yamal and Paulo. Good evening, guys.
Yeah, good evening, Shogun. So good to be here. Another 7 days has gone by.
Good evening. Well, thanks for having me once again.
Okay, as we are ready to break it all down with sharp insight and a bit of good nature, don't banter. Let's get straight to it. We start straight away from Barcelona, whose transfer and youth balls is making big news. As big news out of Catalonia, as Risto Stoikov has backed teenage sensation Lamine Yamal to become a future Ballon d'Or winner. Barcelona are also in talks rather to extend Frankie de Jong's contract beyond 2026, ensuring the midfield stability. And don't forget, Barcelona faces a PSG in a huge Champions League clash comes up in October. That is a mouth-watering tie for any neutral to look forward to. I'm talking about Lamine Yamal. Is that potential? Is it the right time to talk about him winning the Ballon d'Or, or is this going to be a pressure on the 18-year-old kid?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a pressure. He has been in the conversation now for going to 2 seasons now. Since the last time he won, is it the Nations League with the Spanish national team?
He won the Euros with him.
The Euro, he has been in conversation, and I think when the Ballon d'Or final decision comes up, I think this month, he will be in contention. I don't see him being anything apart from 1, 2, 3. So I think it's the right time for us to be talking about it.
Okay, yeah, Michael, do you also see? Do you think Lamine Yamal, looking at his performance last season, do you think he has done enough to actually clinch the Ballon d'Or's title this year?
I think close contender, yes, but not the real deal when it comes to winning it. You know that I think Dembele did more.
Yeah, he won the UEFA Champions League and also won the league.
Because if you give it to Lamine Yamal, you have to consider Kopama too. So I think the best bet has to be Dembele.
Okay, we'll be waiting to see who actually got that crown. Will it be Ousmane Dembele? Will it be Lamine Yamal? There's also Rafinha in the midst of it when Ballon d'Or competitions trophy nights comes up. We'll be having the winner of that competition. And also moving straight to Frankie de Jong. How crucial is tying down Frankie de Jong to Barcelona's rebuild and Champions League ambition? This was a player they tried pushing out of Barcelona. They tried sending him to Manchester United, but he stayed on his ground, yes, and actually moving on to making himself one of the integral parts of the manager Hansi Flick's team. Do you think he should stay right now, or should he be making the move?
I think if you see Frankie de Jong, he's one player that he loves Barcelona, despite the way they've treated him. He's just like Chalobah too. He loves the club. So when a player loves the club, they really want to stay. The body language he has been given has been a player that wants to stay. So I think that, at the end of the day, we'll still end up staying. Yes, they will just have to reduce his wages.
Okay, what about you, Paulo? Do you think Frankie de Jong should be staying at Barcelona, or should he be making a big money move right now, looking at the fact that Barcelona actually need a lot of money to settle up their books?
Frankie de Jong's situation at Barcelona is one that always, surprise or amuse me. And I want to put it, but him being at Barcelona now, if you had told me maybe 2 years ago that in 2025 we still be having Frankie de Jong, I won't believe, because we saw the drama that went on with them and Manchester, including the player wanting to leave then, but Barcelona, doing everything. Now at the same time, when Barcelona wanted to send him out, he refused to also go because of the wages, and Manchester United then were really serious, but they couldn't meet up with the wages. So, but he's a good player if you look at Frankie de Jong, and without injury, I think he commands a starting spot with Barcelona, and at the moment, I think he should still continue with them.
Okay, well, the like of Casado and Gavi getting back to full fitness, it's really going to spark a lot of questions on the future of Frankie de Jong. But it's left to see how if he will be remaining at Barcelona. Will he be signing a new, improved, or pay cut, or will he take a pay cut rather at Barcelona all the time? We move away from Barcelona straight to Germany, who suffered a shock 2-0 defeat to Slovakia, one of their worst results under Julian Nagelsmann, with Euro 2028 and the FIFA World Cup 2026 on the horizon. Questions are being asked about the defensive structure and lack of cutting edge. Is this just a blip for Nagelsmann, or do Germany have a deeper problem with their squad balance right now?
Well, I think we'll have to look at the next game before we can see if there's fire on the mountain. Maybe they have to run or stay, but I think their next game, a few days time, I think will be the decider on that. But I don't think there's a cause for alarm yet. Let's just see the next game before we can decide that. Maybe they will need to upgrade whatever they have going on.
The question has always been, this is Germany, a super power country when it comes to football, but they've been on the slope of late. And looking at some of the matches, they've not been winning convincingly. They've lost some games you'll have thought they should win, and not just that, the likes of Antonio Rudiger, who they depend on at the back of the line. He had a start for Real Madrid this season. Do you think it's time for them to start thinking of rebuilding?
Well, I think there's. Yamal said there's no fire on the mount. I think there is, because if you look at the German team, the last 3-4 years they've not been themselves. With Julian Nagelsmann, I think this should be the third coach since what's his name, Joachim Low. Left them, and they've not been themselves. If you talk about defense, I don't think if you look at the last match, there's Jonathan Tah and Rudiger. I don't think Rudiger not starting matches for Real Madrid is the reason. We know Rudiger. He gives his best whenever he plays, but the season is too early, for us to be judging Rudiger based on him not playing, for Rema. But Germany needs to, get their acts in order. Now, if care is not taken, they might not qualify for the World Cup.
Okay, yes, and there's a very need that they have to get their out.
for Luis Diaz. And the amount Bayern Munich was willing to pay him weekly, I don't think Liverpool will want to match that because of the PSR issue in the Premier League and all. So I
mean, it feels amazing.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sports Center. Live it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember.
Okay, welcome back from that necessary break. We're still on Luis Diaz and the Bayern Munich. Yamal, it's good. Bayern Munich be quietly assembling the best front three in Europe right now. Looking at the fact that they have Michael Olise, who is eating on all cylinder, and the clinical Harry Kane, and also now they're having Luis Diaz, making it one of the fearful front line in Europe.
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the most dreaded front line. Because when you look at Barcelona, it's Rafinha, Lewandowski, and
Lamine
Lamine
Yamal.
Yamal, of which Lewandowski is aging now. And when you look at the PSG, you also have Dembele up front. You also have Bakola and this other guy up front. So when you start comparing, and Real Madrid also, Vinicius Junior, and also Kylian Mbappe, and maybe Rodrigo at some point, maybe Brahim Diaz, we don't know. But when you look at the squad all over Europe, I think that Bayern can hold their own against any opponent at the end of the day.
Okay, from one end to another end, we'll move straight to Isak, whose Liverpool move on spark criticism. Alan Shearer has voiced concern about Alexander Isak £125 million transfer to Liverpool. I'm saying the deal harms the integrity of the game, which inflates and fees. The Swede will be under pressure to deliver immediately at Anfield. Paulo, is Shearer right? Are this massive fee unsustainable?
Well, I think in the long run, I don't think it's sustainable. Though a lot of people say that there's money, a lot of money involved. Now the clubs are making those money, but you look at it, you ask how many clubs can afford that kind of money. Though a lot of clubs will tell you it's not sustainable. But for Liverpool, we know Liverpool why they can afford this kind of money. In the last 2-3 seasons, they didn't really spend much apart from I think they brought in. The last window, they only brought in Chiesa, and aside from that, and they've been making a lot of money. They recently won the league, but if you ask me, other clubs, I don't think they can, sustain, that kind of spending. So I think Alan Shearer is right on that.
Okay, do you think Liverpool has overspent on Alexander Isak?
Well, you look at football nowadays. Now, the kind of you look at other transfers rather. You see the kind of humongous amount.
Yeah, like Arsenal getting declared for 120 million.
Other, and look at Isak in his recent form in the last 2-3 seasons with Newcastle, and I don't think they overspent on him, but it's just that the amount is huge.
Okay, Yamal, will Isak justify his price tag and become Liverpool's long-term number 9 solution? Looking at Ekitike in the picture also.
When you look at the Liverpool setup, one striker cannot take a team all season. You need at least two, which was why Chelsea had to go and we call a player when Delap got injured. So when you look at the way Liverpool is set up, there was only one striker, so they had to bring one extra in. Though the one they brought in now will now lead the line. There's no way you get a player for 125 million and you not put him up front to lead the line. Yeah, be that as it may, Isak understands Premier League. He has been there, done that, been successful with Newcastle, that the support cast is not close to what he will get in Liverpool. I think Liverpool will be more, they have these guys that can, set those passes and come out. He knows how to run in between defenders. He knows how to break down lines. He knows how to play from the left wing. Also from the eye, he's very good on the ball. I don't see, there's only a slim chance for him not to succeed at Liverpool. I think that mostly, he will most likely succeed, except for injuries.
Okay, it's left to see if Alexander Isak will be succeeding at Liverpool after making that big money move from Newcastle to Anfield. Yes, everybody will be loving to see what he can bring forward. He is a prolific striker on this day, no doubt. So straight to La Liga, where they are having a clash with Serie A over overseas fixtures. Spanish and Italians league have revived the plan to stage competitive games abroad in Miami for La Liga and Perth for Serie A. Over 400 fans group are strongly opposed, with UEFA and FIFA watching closely to what is happening or what is unfolding with this. Should league be allowed to stage matches outside the countries, or does it betray the local fans' interest?
I think they should be democratic about it. The fans should have a say, especially the fans of the country where it's been hosted. So, because now if you look at the TV revenue, most of it comes from abroad, other fans too. So it's not bad if you want to take the game to them. It's not a bad idea, but they have to be democratic about it. So let the fans come and vote, let the clubs come and vote, and at the end of the day, they'll get the results they
Okay, Paulo, do you think this can actually help globalize the leagues further and attract new audiences to these leagues?
Well, I don't think, to me, Yama just talked about the fans abroad. I don't think, I think it should be about the fans at home, because they are the ones that's always here for the club, whenever they play. And, when you take those kind of matches away from them now, not all of them can afford to travel, for those. I understand you want to play, you want to, appease your fans also abroad, yeah, but at the same time, you have to consider, the ones at home. But, if you ask me, I know it's all about because of the money, because they tend to generate more revenue from those kind of games now. And if once it starts now, you see that a lot of clubs also will want to be in the long run. You might be surprised that out of the 38 league matches for a team, you might probably wants to play almost half of it away from the country, which will not be good for football at the end of the day.
Okay, one of the certain right now is football that runs, money runs football. Football is a global business right now, and it's a worldwide business for various clubs. So it's left to see how the leagues talking about Serie A and La Liga have come to compromise within their league system and have a better understanding. Should this be going outside the country, or should the league remain a local commodity for the fans within the locality to enjoy alone? Okay, straight to Africa, where Tanzania match was interrupted by bees in one of the strongest moments of the qualifier. A match in Tanzania had to be paused when a swarm of bees invaded the pitch. Players and fans had to duck to cover before play eventually returned. Should FIFA have better protocols for bizarre pitch invasions like this, I think this is a natural invasion, so I don't really think there's nothing anything FIFA could have done about that.
Yeah, it's nature, so there's nothing. It's not about like we used to say in Africa. Maybe the other teams using is it black magic now?
You can prepare for rain because rain can come up.
Even rain during the Diamond League, they had to take waters off the off the tarmac before the athletes can actually have access to rain. So some things are natural, so I don't think there's anything that can be controlled.
That you can predict
and not
there's
even
the
in Africa.
weatherman.
Yeah,
and
I think this is the first time we've seen something like this in a long while. I can't remember.
You can't predict it. So what you cannot predict, how do you plan ahead of it?
Okay, does this become a distraction or just one of those funny movements that makes football memorable?
It's just a memorable moment. Just a memorable moment.
All right, straight to Algeria, who are poised for early FIFA World Cup qualifier. Algeria cruising in their group with 18 points and could book a ticket to the 2026 World Cup as early as match day 8. Bagad Boneji and Riyad Mahrez are leading the charge. How big would early qualification be for Algeria's preparation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup?
Breath of fresh air. They can relax and actually use the other two to get more talent for their national team in the World Cup. So that's the best way to go about the World Cup qualifier. Not that you start beating around the bush.
And not going to calculators like One Nation.
It's terrible when you have an easy group. It is an easy group. See, the minnows can only start raising their heads when the lions are asleep. That is just the fact. If the lion is in the forest, the minnows will find where to hide. So when the lion is behaving like a lion, then the minnows will behave like minnows. It is when the lion is not behaving like a lion that the minnows will now come out and try to show their ugliest. And that is why Nigeria, you have to just look at the fact that Nigeria is really, really dropping down in that level of lions in African football. Maybe they are just going back, I don't know, maybe to a minnow again.
Okay, Paulo, talking still on Africa. So, which African nations looks best equipped to go furthest at the 2026 World Cup?
You won't take anything away from the one that went as far as I think to the semi-final. That's Morocco. Yeah, and if you look at them right now, also
they're still looking good. They're still looking very well.
Flying high. They not soften the weather at all. And the likes of Algeria also. Algeria has always been, when it comes to having players, if they are one of the best players. Even the likes of Riyad Mahrez, though some will say is aging now, but
he's actually aging.
Yeah, but I still believe that they are good. But for Africa, I think Morocco is still the best bet.
Okay, it's left to say if Morocco still remains the African best bet at the FIFA World Cup. Don't forget they got to the last 4, but they've been struggling to win the African Cup of Nations since then. They are hosting the African Cup of Nations this year, and they'll be looking to go one step further and winning it on home soil. Now straight to Africa, where we have a packed African World Cup qualifiers. September is stacked with over 15 World Cup qualifiers across Africa, including the blockbuster the Nigerian Super Eagles against the Rwanda clash that could reshape Group C's standing. Who has the edge in this, Nigeria or Rwanda?
When you go by stats, Nigeria has not won a game in the World Cup qualifier at the
Nest of Champions.
At the Nest of Champions. So the stats have said it. So even the team below Rwanda also got a point from there. So at that kind of venue, anything can happen.
Earlier, before coming on this program, we're talking about South Africa and some of the things. Yes, South Africa earlier on today pushes themselves a step further to booking the qualification for the FIFA World Cup. They are also in the Nigerian group that defeated Lesotho 3-0 in a away fixture, which was played on the South African turf. Nigeria will be looking to also get a victory over Rwanda tomorrow at the Nest of Champions. Which African team are you most excited to watch during this international break?
Well, mentioned Morocco earlier on, and including South Africa also. You look at how South Africa have been playing; they've been dispatching, teams that Nigeria are finding very difficult to beat. They've been dispatching them with ease. Though I still have a reservation about South Africa, those matches, because almost all those matches have been played.
Rwanda, Zimbabwe,
which is
all their own tough, all their own games have been played in South Africa.
Out of 6 people from the group, you have except from 2,
Nigeria and Benin
Benin Republic. That means the remaining 4 are all playing in South Africa. It gives them advantage. You don't travel. They come once they land. They train in their own. Whereas the other countries are.
But is it who is to blame?
Yeah,
Since they are tough, since they don't have equipment, they don't have facilities in their nation, they have to find. Benin plays their away game right there in Cote d'Ivoire, in Ivory Coast. So I don't think it's really a big problem for those nations. It's an agreement before coming into the competition proper. It's just about Nigeria finding an excuse when they didn't do the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, that's one excuse we can also count on. But I think CAF should come out, though it has happened now. But I think going forward it should stop, and Nigeria should make a stand. We are a big nation when it comes to football in this country, and we should be having a say in this kind of matter. We shouldn't just be sitting behind. Can you allow a South African team, having out of the 6 teams in the group, 3 plus South Africa will be playing their own matches in South Africa? Why not take those other matches away to other countries? As if those countries cannot, host those games in their own country, look for countries that are not playing, that are not in the group. I don't think anywhere in Europe would allow such thing to happen. I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, so the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing tomorrow against Rwanda right there at the Nest of Champion Goswe Akpabio Stadium in Akwa Ibom. We'll be in the studio of Premier Sport Fan Center to give you analysis and watch along of that program, so you can join us at 5 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow to have a feel of what is going to happen in that game. Will Nigeria be getting another victory, or will there be another draw? Because they've actually drawn 4 games in this qualifiers. Really a shamble one for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We go straight to the AFCON 2025. The venue rundown. Yes, we're just months away from the 35th African Cup of Nations in Morocco, running from December 21 to January 18 across some 9 stadiums in 6 cities. Excitement is building for what promises to be a spectacular tournament. And which teams are early favorite for the AFCON 2025 glory?
Well, I think it's still the host country because the last edition was also won by the host country, talking about Ivory Coast. So look at Morocco, not just because they are the host country, but because of the way they've been playing the last 4 or 5 years. They're a team on the rise, and you can't take anything away from that. Aside from Morocco, there's also Senegal. Senegal, they have a very good team, a very good squad, and I won't be surprised if they actually go ahead and win it.
Okay, you can go.
I think that I won't told that like Senegal is on the decline. Morocco too has not covered themselves in glory past the African Cup of Nations. They've not really looked convincing. The World Cup, playing at the World Cup is different from Nations Cup. The World Cup, they could be conservative, pragmatic, because the other big teams are bigger than they will attack them and try to find spaces to operate. But in Africa, they have to be explosive because they are one of the big names in Africa. So it's like the problem Manchester United had under Erik ten Hag. So they had to, take the game to the opponent. So look at how they fared in the last Nations Cup. So I think if they are going to fare well, they need to improve a whole lot. But you can't take it beyond Egypt. You can't take it beyond currently South Africa. You can't, because South Africa is knocking on that door very closely right now. Forget the fact that they are playing at home. They still have to show up and play. Nigeria is playing at home and dropping all 3 points. So you have to play on the field. Forget home advantage. As far as I'm concerned, in football, home advantage is not really as effective as it used to be. Now you just have, because there are television, there are screens, you can't intimidate fans anyhow, or else the armor of CAF and FIFA will come hard on you. So when you look at it, you have to play football. South Africa is playing football. You need to go and see them play. Look at the Nations Cup. Nigeria had to defend at this point whereby pressure, you know how many people died from that game. The pressure was it because they took the game to Nigeria. So you can't take it past South Africa. Egypt is there, and also Algeria really flying out.
Okay, I'll wait till December to January schedule affects European clubs losing key players mid-seasons. I think the EPL will be having a break around December. There's no festival of football in EPL anymore, so I don't think that should be a big problem for the EPL.
I think EPL is January.
Okay, January.
Yeah, where it's spread across.
That's when the issue will actually be.
Spread.
So how is this going to affect these clubs?
I think it always affects them. You saw Alex Ferguson era. He hardly wants to get African players because of the AFCON. December, January is a decisive moment for the Premier League winners. So I think that they'll just find a way around it. Probably why Chelsea didn't go the Osimhen way to have two Africans lead the line, not knowing that they will actually lose the two.
Okay, it's left to say as we await on the African Cup of Nations will it be Ivory Coast defending their titles, or will it be Nigeria surging the Ivorians as the next champions? Nigeria currently have the most expensive team setup in Africa, so it's left to see if they can finally put their hands on the big titles. Straight to the CAF Champions League updates, where history was actually made as Pyramids FC won their first ever CAF Champions League, defeating Melomodi Sundowns 3-2 on aggregate. A huge achievement it was for the Egyptian football. Now to the questions: are Pyramid FC now ready to challenge the likes of Al Hilal and Zamalek as African new powerhouse?
Yeah, money. The club now run by wealthy owners, and when you have money, you can buy talent. PSG has proved it. Man City, Chelsea has proved it, and so on. So when you have money, Real Madrid has been on top because they have the buying power. So when you have money, you can rule. That's just it.
Yeah, we saw Melomodi Sundowns at the the FIFA Club World Cup. Fantastic team. Though experience actually cost them a lot, and they were fortunate to find themselves in the group where they found themselves. But experience were made, where I think a good experience was actually made at the Club World Cup. What does this mean for South African clubs? Can they bounce back next season?
Well, I think they can, and they should. Looking at how they've been playing recently, they keep on, going higher and higher. You talk about South African. I think you have the likes of Melody Sundown, Orlando Pirates, and I think the ones in Stellenbosch, the ones in the continent. So they're doing high. I don't think though losing to what they call it
Pyramid.
I think the first leg ended 1-1, and they lost the other leg. In Africa it's about the 2-leg games, and it's good different. But I think they will definitely bounce back. Okay,
lastly, we move straight to the Nigerian Premier Football League. Nigeria Premier Football League, which kicked off some weeks ago. The 2025-2026 NPFL season is officially underway. Defending champions Remo Stars begin their title defense with 4 new challenges: Warriors, Wiki Tourist, Baru FC, and Kun Khalifa. Good for them is that 3 of these 4 teams, are newly promoted teams. Which NPFL club are your favorites to win the league this season?
I think Remo again.
What about you?
To be honest, I can't really pinpoint, but I don't think I can't remember a team defending the Nigerian league in the last 5 seasons. Now it's always new. New winner. So I think this season we might also be having a new winner.
Yeah, the first 2 games are actually nice. Talking about Remo Stars, playing out a 1-1 draw with the runner-ups in the game match they won, Rivers United, and going straight to defeat Kun Khalifa up 2-1 in the second game. So I think they've started very well to this season. And looking at the additions they've made into that team, I think Shoname has really made good additions to the Remo Stars team.
And if they go ahead and defend it should be a very big achievement for them, because like I said, it's very hard to defend the Nigerian league.
Cannot Blast did it,
but I would love for a privately run club to.
I think they stand the best. They stand the best chance of winning.
But as far as I'm concerned, the Nigerian Premier League, as far as I'm concerned, is not really. To me, it may be a disclaimer, but a joke as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, yes, but lastly, what must the league do to attract more global viewers and improve visibility?
First, you can't just want to call outsiders to come and look at your house that is not in order. You need structure. Build stadium first. Let there be a good environment to watch and play football. You can't be walking into a stadium and there are different smells, those kind of things. You're discouraged before even seeing the game. No matter how good the play is, you won't enjoy it. You can't be pressed and go to the restroom. Those little things, fix them. Let there be structure. Then after the structure, bring the game to the TV. Let the viewers see it. Then even without the fans, when the viewers see good football, you always want to maybe take your family on a weekend, just go and see the game and go back to your house. So it's a whole lot. You have to build it over time. It's about structures access to the venue. After that, the quality of play. Then you know when the game is on TV, you can actually control all this so-called cheating, officiating bias and all those things. So when you can see it, there's something to hammer on as proof, probably in the court, or maybe in the disciplinary committee to actually use to dish out punishment, because it's very difficult to dish out punishment for something you don't have proof on. That is just mere words. So when it's on TV, you can actually catch it on set, and all those things will pop up. So I think it's a step by step. As far as I'm concerned, maybe they should just halt the league. The government provides structures. The private will come and rent it and pay. Then when they pay, they run their clubs the way they want to run it, and they make profit.
Okay, as that's a wrap on this episode of Talk Sports on Premier Sport Fun Center. What a journey across football world today, from Barcelona Rising Stars to the Bees in Tanzania and AFCON 2025 on prep. We've covered it all. Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Which transfer or story got you talking the most? Make sure to subscribe, leave a rating, and share this podcast with fellow football fans. Until next time, keep loving beautiful game of football.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sport Center. Believe it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sport Center. Believe it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sport Center. Believe it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.